So, Arnav, you have quite a range of interests. I can see swimming, marathon running. You've also been active in the club, art club. So, when you say art club, what type of art you were involved in? Was it open to all form of arts or specific domains?
In my school, I was good in arts. That is why I became the art secretary. But the work I had to do was basically decoration as well as student council activities. Student welfare, checking whether they got in mobiles or not, whether they were cheating or not.
Oh, there is more of administration related discipline work.
Yes.
Not really art form.
Half of it was art, decorating the entire school whenever there was a function, organizing events. And second is
more of event management types.
Yes, sir.
There's a curiosity there. How important is art in the development of personality?
Sir, I read this somewhere that lateral knowledge becomes the basis for a deeper personality. And I agree when it comes to deeper personality.
Okay.
When we learn about art, sir, we also inherently learn about how people think, and we learn about how to observe minute things in what people do and in how they act. That might, in later stages of life help us in understanding how people behave. Secondly, sir, this notion of being patient with one's own work is something that is hard earned, and that has to be earned by practice. It cannot be taught. And sir, also art also provides us with empathy towards artisans, which is a very good thing, sir.
But I find a lot of artists, a lot of people with creativity are very temperamental.
Yes, sir.
They are short-tempered. They actually are sometimes very rude.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you're talking about patience, observation, empathy. I have seen the exact opposite.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, do you agree with this observation of mine, or how do you explain this?
Yes, sir. Some artists are indeed reactionary, short-tempered in some sense. But sir, when they create their art, at least majority of artists, they do it with the kind of attention to details that requires some kind of patience. But personality traits might differ from person to person.
Okay. Why do you think people who have artist bent of mind, they're so temperamental in nature?
Sir, it helps with their art because being temperamental also
sometimes is it deliberate, you're telling me?
No, sir. It might be deliberate in some cases, but it also might be a mixture of so many things that they might be proud of their art, or in some cases,
arrogance.
It also might be arrogance in some cases, sir. Yes, but it also might be that their way of thinking has changed so much through art and understanding, focusing on a specific part of a culture, that they sometimes become impulsive when it comes to a particular topic, and that is where these traits might come from.
So while we encourage that we must encourage or we must induce creativity as an important component of education and learning.
Yes.
How do you ensure people with creative bent of mind or people who have gone the distance creativity, they don't act temperamentally? What can be done as a part of education model?
Sir, I would say that yes, we should teach them about art, but we should also teach them about sports. Also expose them to different kinds of culture, and why make them understand or make them see that why a person.
Why do you mention sports?
The sport builds up this team spirit, and when we play sport, each and every person is equal, and it's purely based on merits, and it tends to bring down egoistic tendencies in a person.
Okay.
Expose them to different kinds of people from different kinds of backgrounds. Have a curriculum that has a wider knowledge base so that they have more information or more more degree of what they are exposed to in life. So they are more empathetic and not reactionary when they come to their responses.
That applies, I think, to any individual, not just people with creative pursuits. So for people with creative bent of mind, do you think we should do something differently?
So young artists, yes, but once a personality is shaped, there are the scope of reformation becomes less, a little bit less. But yes, a young artists, we should uh, expose them to a wider background of activities and make them interact with people who are doing ground based work. For example, handicraft people, local artisans, and see how humble they are. Maybe they get, or at least get inspired from it.
What is your view on the way art forms are accessible, art forms are presented, where everybody has a take or two on platforms like Instagram, YouTube, Reels, Shorts. Is it helping art form? What is your view on the explosion of this media and art form?
Broadly, yes, sir, it is helping art forms. It is helping to reach a very wide audience. So if I am making my art in India, I might also reach someone's in far away Ireland or Scotland. And in that way, it does help. But sir, there's a flip side to that equation also.
Yeah.
That sometimes the internet, because of its anonymous nature and the physical separation between people, becomes so critical. And because of this echo chamber effect, it uh, it layers down on criticism and biased views sometimes, that it might also cull an artist's creativity, and that is where the
It's brutal trolling.
yes sir, that is something that has to be tackled.
Overall, you think it's a positive thing?
Broadly, yes.
But I see, the kind of exposure people have, it might encourage some people, but it discourages most people because of the type of level of art that is shown in the social media. Most average performers, they hardly have any chance. So my thing, it discourages creativity rather than encourages creativity.
Sir, I would say that we are focusing on the right disease but the wrong diagnosis. I would say that being encouraged or discouraged by seeing someone else's work is a point of attitude. So if a family or a school is inculcating positive attitude, that you have to get inspired and reach up to that level, maybe cross that level. Then we can tackle that issue, sir.
You have a strong art bent of mind, right?
I like to think so, sir.
Okay, so how are you as a person? Emotional, temperamental, more thought through, more calm. What type of person are you, given the fact that you are an artist, art bent of mind?
Sir, I am calmer than my peers. At least that is what I have observed. I also have a degree of attention to detail, and I don't like to just meet deadlines or meet a particular minimum criteria. I like to see that whatever work I do, and if my name is associated to that work, then it should be one of the best work that.
Perfectionist.
So borderline perfectionist, but now I'm slowly realizing that perfection comes at a cost. So I'm trying to reach that 99% performance, and
you have tough time in governance.
Yes, sir. I'm molding my personality in the manner that I have to be satisfied with a very good job and not try to reach 100%, because entire perfection is not is something that is not.
Artists are rarely team players.
Yes, sir.
Are you a team player?
Sir, I'm also a sports person, so that has helped me with my team spirit.
Okay. What sports do you play?
Sir, I swim and I run.
Both of these are not team, individual, right? Running, marathon, sailing.
Sir, in swimming, I participate more in relay events and team
relay events.
My medal is in medley relay.
Okay. That way you are more of a team player.
Yes, sir. I like to think that I am good with my team.
Excellent. Very nice. I'm sure you are a team player. And what was this most innovative project that you were awarded for in school or college?
College.
College. What was this? What was the innovative project?
Sir, me and my partner, we made a leak-free swimsuit. So women could wear this swimsuit for their leisure and swimming activities while they were menstruating. This issue we thought that was untackled till now. And we
Okay.
did that.
So what material did you use?
Sir, we constructed a new kind of material. So one layer of polyurethane in the middle and spandex polyester on top as well as on the bottom. So 3-layered fabric.
And was it soft? Would it
Yes,
stick to the skin?
To some extent, it would be hugging the skin, but not be entangled or stick with the skin. It was 4-way stretch fabric with stretch capability of more than 100%. And
100% stretch capability.
yes, sir. 10 in the sense that a 10 centimeter fabric 1 meter fabric can extend to be 2 meters.
2 meters,
fabric
yes.
and retain its original shape.
Wow. So, what got you this project? What was your curiosity? What was your inspiration?
So in the in the third year of college, we participated in the internship competition, Converge. My team had two female swimmers as well as 2 male swimmers, and they could not come to practice as regularly. So I asked them. They were hesitant initially, but they told me that 4 or 5 days we cannot come because we do not have the proper materials or proper swimsuit, and that stuck in my mind, and I picked that up in my final year.
Oh yeah, that's very sensitive and shows empathy there. Excellent, brilliant. So coming to the issue of women issues, women concerns, and all of that, there's a lot of awareness that is being tried to be promoted about women health, menstrual health,
Yes.
even mental health, and all of that. So my question to you is, when there are avenues to express one's angst, avenues to express one's frustration, does it really help every time? Or is it better to have a situation or a condition where behavior norms are formalized? What do you think helps mental health better? You understand my question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Go on.
Sir, I believe that the right path is somewhere in the middle. Yes, we should have good ways to express angst for women as well as any part of the population, because that does not let a thought become a flame or a tiny fire become a huge flame in terms of negative thought. And in that sense, it is good. But sir, having a formal thought structure or a formal thinking pattern which is institutionalized is good in the manner that it helps in keeping the entire society gelled in well and interact better with other people. Because if guidelines are good and people follow them, then the immediate logical step is a good social order, a cohesive social order. So, in that sense, sir, I think that.
I'm asking you in the context of
Yes.
where there is society we live in. On one hand, there is a lot of tradition that is being promoted, a lot of cultural nationalism being promoted.
Yes, sir.
On the other hand, we do see a society which is pursuing more liberal thoughts, more laissez-faire thinking and control. There is more, we can say, openness about, but we find problems in both. Okay. So, what would you go for if given a chance? Would you like a cultural, intense, traditional society where norms, rules are fixed? Or would you prefer a society which is more open, which is more liberated in that sense? What would you prefer?
So I would prefer a society that has some good cultural norms or traditional norms, respecting elders, respecting women, being grateful to our mothers and sisters, But sir, I would also like some aspect of individualism and the personal freedom to do something or pursue a career that woman wants to pursue. So I would say, sir, that yes, I would take again a middle
But the
path.
moment we talk about traditional culture,
Yes,
we always have patriarchy, right?
yes, sir.
I cannot think of a traditional culture that doesn't have patriarchy.
Yes, sir.
So are you again going down the same middle path is always a convenient path.
Yes, sir.
Tell me as a person, the individual that you are.
Yes, sir.
When I see you, okay, as an artist, plus you have done your bit of. So as a person, tell me, forget about playing safe in the middle path.
Yes.
Hmm.
So the middle path is my personal opinion because I am taking some good aspects of tradition because
I cannot see tradition beyond patriarchy.
so that
I cannot think of any tradition beyond patriarchy. Any tradition will fall back into patriarchy.
so that is an issue. We have to separate tradition with patriarchy because indeed Indian culture was very deeply respectful of its women and is very deeply respectful of our women. But at the same time, the same culture has this dichotomous notion of discriminating against women, female feticides, and that patriarchal part has to be eradicated to in interest of our women. I would not want my sister to face this kind of persecution or this kind of discrimination. But at the same time, sir, I would want her to have a liberal feeling that she is free to do what she wants to do in life, and she's not restricted to the four walls of her kitchen, and not does not fall into the world of only listening to the mother-in-law or in-law or her husband. And in that sense, sir, I think that middle path is my personal preference too.
So okay, fine. How do you think the world sees India? A lot of awards Indians are winning. We find a lot of acknowledgement of Indian ideas. We find US,
Yes.
okay, kind of the warming up India.
Yes, sir.
Is it because of a newfound respect for India? Or is it because the economics and the markets tells the world economy, India is the place to go to?
Sir, I believe that these are both self-fulfilling phenomena. Uh, they have a fear of missing out the Indian market or another developmental story that they can be a part of. Huge Indian demographic, huge market, huge growth potential, huge service sector. And they are now interacting more with India. And when they do so, they see that our culture is also such a rich culture that they have not seen before. All the notions of our culture and the ideas that they are propagating now have stayed in our culture for thousands of years, maybe 5,000 years ago. And that is where, from that discovery, comes a respect for Indians. And because of that, there is a two-phased perception of India. One is a respect, definitely a moral ground, and second one is this fear of missing out from a good relation with India. Because if they don't support it now, then India might not support them at a later stage.
Maybe the selfish interest is where it starts.
Yes.
Okay, economy into the start, and eventually it might build up into.
Yes.
How do you deal with Indian image? Indians and poverty, India and slums. Unfortunately, even the tag of the sexual assault and the miscreants.
Yes.
Okay. How can India deal with this problem? It's a major image issue for India.
Yes.
I mean, countries calling India the rape capital of the world.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So we first have to tackle these issues within our four borders before we start to change our perception. Yes, sir. Concerns are genuine. We should first solve them within our borders and then only start to change or at least try to change our perception because these are facts. There are multiple issues around women's ground. We have to make them feel safe and we have to shape our society or to be respectful of women and not take steps which disrespect them or are harmful to women. For poor also, we have to support them in providing equal opportunities and realize their aspirations that they have.
Yeah.
In developmental aspects also, so the same applies.
Okay. So you are aware that this is a genuine problem.
Yes,
It's
sir,
not
we are.
entirely propaganda.
Yes.
Okay. So again, it comes to the same thing. When we get more and more culturally aggressive, we probably also get culturally regressive.
Yes, sir. Newton's law.
Yeah, Newton's law is an action reaction.
Yes, sir.
So India has this problem to face.
Yes, sir. We have to tackle these issues.
Okay. So do you think as an administrator and civil servant, you can do something on these grounds?
Yes, sir.
Let's see, what is it that you have in mind? What is it that you want to do?
Sir, on women's issues or poverty or
All of these issues, cultural problems, women issues.
Sir, if I had to tackle all these issues simultaneously or tackle them together, I would firstly focus on good employment. That people should not be free throughout the day to cook something or some evil thought that they have. We also say that khali dimag shaitan ka ghar. So I think that we should provide good opportunities for employment. And in that sense, sir, I think that we should have focus upon micro and medium industries in the labor-intensive sectors, textile, garment, apparel, footwear. But we should also focus upon the highly frontier technology manufacturing as well as service sector, so that we also increase the paying scale of our entire population. Secondly, sir, we should also have a good, robust law and order system. That police should be sensitized. They should be recruited in the numbers that are needed right now. And thirdly, sir, we also have to have a proper urban and rural planning, that these factors like street lighting, good no dark spaces, being transparent in streets as well as good houses.
So
good living
say you are from Madhya Pradesh,
Yes.
right? Where in Madhya Pradesh?
Bhopal.
Bhopal. Bhopal is fairly cosmopolitan and advanced.
Yes, sir.
Say a bit more backward region of Madhya Pradesh should be what? Maybe towards eastern side. Okay. Bordering
yes,
of Karnataka, maybe those areas have more less development there.
Eastern and southern side.
Okay. So if you are posted there, you can pick up a district of your choice.
Yes, sir.
What will be your approach to development there? How will you work? Say you are a DM of a district there. Keeping these things in mind, what will be the approach of solving the problems there?
So I would pick a district which I have personally been to. I would pick Maheshwar.
Okay.
So I would focus upon two aspects of economy that Maheshwar has. The first one is handloom sector, which is still not living up to its potential or not meeting its potential. I would try to formalize the sector to some extent and also provide them with newer designs so that they can brand their products in a way that they can export those products. Secondly, sir, I would also like to proactively work upon tourism. The local youth can directly be employed in tourism with minimal skilling levels, and that is where I
What tourism does Maheshwar offer?
Historical tourism, religious and historical tourism.
Okay.
And so, secondly, while working with the administration, I would like to work with the police force to see that laws and proper law and order situation, the safety situation is tackled by proper recruitment activities, being on time, being on the place that they were supposed to be, and being empathetic to the general public.
You are focused on employment?
Yes, sir.
Focused on reviving the art?
Yes, sir.
And law and order will be a priority?
Yes.
In this order?
No, sir. Education comes between these two. Second order of priority is education.
Okay. So what are you belong to which state? Bhopal, said.
Yes, sir.
What are the typical problems of Bhopal?
So we have very high levels of out migration in Bhopal. Bhopal is still not able to service its high paying service.
Bhopal is an urban area.
Yes, sir. It is urban, but it is not a service sector economy all the jobs that we have in service sector are majority in the government service. Private service sector industry is still not well developed. Secondly, sir, I would like to focus more upon diversifying our industries. We only have 2 or 3 major industries in Bhopal, 2 or 3 sectors of industry which are in and around Bhopal. Thirdly, sir, I would.
What is the migration percentage in Bhopal? Any idea number there?
No, sir.
I'm surprised because urban areas are supposed to be destinations for migrants.
Yes, sir.
That's not the case in Bhopal.
No, sir. Bhopal sees a net out migration. So there is high in migration in low skill jobs in formal sectors. So these low skill, low paying jobs are higher in Bhopal, but high paying jobs which can fulfill the demands of a growing urban economy are still not being provided in Bhopal.
Fine. So you talked about diversifying the economy.
Yes, sir.
Okay, go on.
Secondly, sir, I would also like to preserve and regenerate the environment of Bhopal. It is the city of lakes, but our lakes are now threatened by.
How many lakes does Bhopal have?
14 to 15 lakes, sir.
Okay. The biggest being
Upper Lake.
Upper Lake.
Yes, sir. It is also Bhuj wetland, Ramsar wetland.
Okay. The environment. Any learning from Indore? Indore is known for its environment, its waste management. What did Indore do differently that can be replicated? Any idea about Indore?
Yes, sir.
Go on, let's see.
So Indore is interesting in terms of how they tackled all these populations. They realized that some of these issues which are not being tackled, like cleanliness, environment protection, good citizen rule, abiding society, are behavioral issues and not administrative issues. So they focused on changing behaviors of their population.
That's interesting. Tell me how did they do this?
So they took a broad approach. So the elderly population was tackled by conventional advertising methods like painting walls, the chimes that are daily being sung on loudspeakers through garbage vans.
Okay.
TV advertisement, local radio advertisements, but also the younger population was tackled through social media and digital media sensitization. Street plays were held, widely popular Nukkad Natak street plays. In that sense, 1, 2, 3, 4 years later, people got habitual of being clean, being law abiding, and that was a very interesting approach.
So it was mainly around awareness building.
Yes, sir, awareness.
Not so much about adding capacity, infrastructure, operations.
So that was a precursor to a behavioral change. So Bhopal has good, robust systems. It has developed very good infrastructure in waste collection and administration. But the behavioral change of general population is still not well achieved. That is what we can learn from Indore.
Okay. And who is the person, the brain behind Indore?
Sir, I'm not aware.
It must be some bureaucrat, I believe, or some politician.
Sir, it must be a bureaucrat. I have heard his name, but I cannot recall it right now.
Recall. That model can be replicated. No, why can't we replicate this model across the country for that matter? What's stopping us? The interesting model.
Yes, sir.
They were struck me also that it's a behavioral problem more than it's an operations problem.
Yes. So case to case basis, each and every city has a different reason for not implementing. But broadly, the approach towards solving a problem is what they did new. So in my city, for example, they focused on cleaning the entire city altogether. But in Indore, they piloted in a particular region. Then they took up to 5 wards, then 10 wards, then the entire city. So learning from own mistakes, because Indore's model cannot be directly implemented in each and every city. So having a citizen-specific feedback mechanism, a city-specific feedback mechanism was very important. Secondly, sir, having a good moral administrative apparatus is also very important, because sometimes people in smaller cities or administration of even big cities become self-serving and they siphon off funds out of this cleanliness fund. When they talk about behavioral change campaigns, they don't actually paint those campaigns, but divert them away.
Yes. So Well, the idea is a good one. It
Yes.
cannot be blindly replicated
Yes, sir.
until you have a responsive administration.
Yes.
Okay. And I like the idea of going ward by ward. So has Bhopal done something of this kind? Nothing yet.
So we have tried, but sustained over a period of time, we have not done.
Excellent. So, right, Arnav. Your name reminds me of a famous journalist.
Yes, sir.
Any opinions on media and journalism today in general? Who am I referring to?
Arnav Goswami.
Okay, fine. So what is your opinion about journalism, media, in recent times?
So I would say that a balanced journalism is majority of our journalism sector is not balanced in its approach. It is either right leaning or left leaning, against or for. But there are a very few channels which are balanced in their approach. Print, scroll, beyond, or frontier. All these are balanced, but rest of them are left or right leaning, more or less.
So we require more balance in journalism.
Yes, sir.
Or maybe I would use the word non-judgmental journalism.
Yes. Yes, that is a
Right?
more appropriate.
So we end up promoting an idea rather than reporting an event.
Yes, sir, right.
But then that's going to be there in journalism always.
Yes, sir.
Even the publication journalism by our freedom fighters, they
Yes.
were really non-judgmental, and they would pass a verdict or opinion and build the mass sentiments around that.
Yes.
What can we do on this? We have some laws in place which can deal with this. Are there any directives can deal with the
So we have independent regulatory authorities for various forms of journalism. For newspaper, there is the Press Council of India. For broadcasters, there is a separate body, and now there is ministries overarching regulation or overarching view on the online news industry.
Yeah.
But we have to combine all these so that the entire issue is now being tackled. For example, NDTV has online website. It has its own app, YouTube channel, as well as conventional TV channels. So a single entity is being regulated by 4 different organizations. And also these organizations are sometimes late in their actions. Sudarshan TV issue had to be handled by court and not by these press councils. So that is an issue, sir.
So regulatory systems are there but not effective.
Yes, sir. Not
So
that
how
effective.
do you address this concern? What is your solution to this?
Yes, sir. So may I please take some?
Yeah, please.
So firstly, we would have to work upon centralizing this or combining these regulatory authorities in such a manner that they have a wider experience throughout media channels, social media.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by wider experience?
Sir, in my opinion, there should be a single news regulatory authority rather than medium-wise segregated authorities, which could tackle each and every issue. Secondly, sir, the kind of
authority will have the expertise to deal with all the nuances.
Yes, sir. That brings me to my second point, is that this representation in this kind of body, firstly, it can have 4 hierarchies across channels, but single oversight. And the representation has to be of both the small players as well as large players, as well as people who have enough technical expertise and a background of each and every form of media.
We don't have that right now.
So in silos we have, but as a single entity where each is interacting with each other, it's not present.
Okay.
Secondly, sir, there also has to be increased transparency in working of media channels. Accounts have to come in the ambit of increase transparency norms. It might also be put in
What is deepfake?
deepfake. So deepfakes are AI generated images which are not real but seem to be real.
Okay. And what is Web3 3.0?
So it is said to be the next evolution of internet, in which the entire data is user controlled as well as user driven.
So are these two linked, deepfakes and Web 3.0?
In some ways, yes. These are different models, but cross platform relations are there.
So what exactly is changing in Web 3.0? Talking about the user controlling the data.
Yes, sir.
How is that? Can you explain that to me?
Yes, sir. So I would like to give an example in this. For example, if a new social media channel comes, second Facebook.com. Now, in this second Facebook.com, the entire data will be with me, and it will not be in control of a single person or a single organization. So if I want to delete my data, I send one request and the entire data is erased. Decentralization of algorithms also. So one person or one company does not control how I see my news.
So why will a company develop this? A company will want to own, right? The Facebook, if it's there, it will want to own all data. Why will it make a system that is decentralized?
So that is why they are not in support of Web 3.0 entirely. They are marketing their initiatives as Web 3.0, but ideally it is not 100% Web 3.0.
You give an example of this kind of a system where we have decentralization of data and control. Website, app, everything operates on those lines.
So entire cryptocurrency market operates on this principle. I can only come up with.
And blockchain is important.
Blockchain and cryptocurrency, yes.
You know what that blockchain is?
Yes.
Okay. So you are already in service.
Yes, sir.
What service is this?
So Indian Railway Management Service.
IRMS. So I don't know what you seek to achieve getting into maybe all India services like IAS, IPS. Your choices tells me that you have filled in. Yeah, you have opted for quite a few, almost 10, 11 services.
Yes.
Including trade service and revenue service.
Yes.
Defense estate service.
Yes.
So what are you seeking to achieve that your IRMS does not give you? What does it provide you?
Sir, I would like to divide that answer into two. First one is so that I'm not leaving IRMS. I like IRMS and I like being in the IRMS, especially after joining the academy. But sir, I believe that I am joining a more appropriate field. Firstly, the professional reason is, sir, that it provides a better initiative or a better chances of career growth. The administrative service, the police service, each and every department, almost every department is headed by an IAS officer. Sir, also the range of opportunities and exposure is also much wider in administrative service. That is why I'm aspiring to be in the administrative service, but I'm not aiming to leave railways, sir. I like being in the railways. And second part of that question, sir, when I was filling my service preferences in DAP2, the result just came out and I did not know how IRMS is going to be shaped. So I talked with all the seniors that I could reach out to. I read about IRMS, what it is. And considering my personal preferences, my career growth opportunities, I filled in these choices at that point of time.
Okay. So you have any change of preference now?
Sir, I would fill in lesser services if I had a choice to fill options now.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yes.
Are you aware of India's Agni 5?
Yes, sir.
I'm
proud of it also, sir.
Yeah, we all are proud of it.
Yes.
Yes. and more proud because a woman has headed the project,
Yes, sir.
the team of women.
Yes, sir.
This was also true for Mangalyaan,
Yes, sir.
and quite a few trailblazers even in Chandrayaan,
Yes, sir.
right? What does this tell you about women? Are they finally breaking through the glass ceiling?
Sir, I would say that the glass ceiling is becoming porous now.
Porous.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It is a glass sieve now, not exactly a glass ceiling. But sir, that being said, definitely there are very huge advantages, huge advancements in women protection. But we still have a lot of issues to tackle. The labor force participation rate is 20% less than that of men. The average wage paying scale is also less. Women's protection in professional spaces, women friendly toilets, hygiene issues are still not at the center of company planning its operations. So in that manner, we have to tackle those issues. But largely, yes, our work that we have done throughout the decades are now showing their results.
So happy but not there yet.
Yes, I'm not there yet.
Who's the lady who was heading the Agni project?
Sir, I read her name. I'm unable to recall.
Fine, fair enough. Arnav, that was a good introduction. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.